Hello everybody, welcome to Shogi Ramen TV. いらっしゃいませ. Let's enjoy Shogi with me. Today, I want to introduce the legendary Shogi players from the 1920s. The first one is the Kimura Yoshio. He became the pro in the 1920 and he is the first Meijin at the 1938. And he got the 8 Meijin titles. And next one is the Masuda Kozo. I liked his shogi and I watched his Kifu very much. And also he became the Meijin and he got 7 titles. And the next one is Oyama Yasuharu. He's of course very famous legendary player and he got the Meijin 18 times and he got the 80 titles. This result was amazing. And let's go to the 1960s. The first one is the Kunio Yonenaga. He became the Kuro 1963 and he got Meijin at the 1993. He got only the once at the Meijin, but he got the 90 titles. And next one is the Nakahara Makoto. He became the pro 1965. And he became the Meijin from the 1972. And in total, 18 times. And he got the 64 titles. This is also amazing result. And next one is Tanigawa Koji. He became the pro from the 14 years old. This is very young. And he became the Meijin 5 times. And he got titles, 27 titles. And let's go to the 1980s. The most famous player Habu is here. And he became the pro at 1985 and his age was 15 and he got Meijin 9 times and in total 99 titles. So we hope the 100 titles next. And next one is the Yasumitsu Sato. He is also very famous player and he got the Meijin twice. And he got titles, 13 titles. And Moriuchi Toshiyuki is also very famous player. And he got Meijin 8 times. And titles 12 times. So these 3 players are very famous and they are called Habu era players. And I learned the shogi from the 3 players. And next one is from the 2000. The first one is Watanabe Akira. He became the pro from the 15 years old. This is also very young. And also he became the Meijin 3 times and he got title 45. This is also amazing. And Sota Fuji. He became the pro from the 14 years old. And he's not a legendary player, but already his record is legendary. So I put his name in this list. And he became the Meijin from the 2023. And he got the titles. Already 25 titles. And today, I want to share the legacy Kifu by these 2 guys, Kimura Yoshio vs Masuda Kozo. Let's see. 先手 Masuda Kozo and 後手 Kimura Yoshio. Pushing pawn and pushing pawn and pushing pawn. This is the startup of the Ishida style. And pushing pawn and moving the bishop and moving the gold. this is very interesting countermeasure against the Ishida. And moving the rook and moving the gold. And pushing the h pawn and moving the gold. This is very aggressive way. And move back the bishop to protect the pawn. And moving the silver. And moving the silver. And bring the silver. So the Gote try to attack this position by using the silver and the bishop. So the Sente needs to take care about this position. And pushing pawn to block the silver forward. Pushing pawn. And not taking this pawn is important to stop the silver at this position. Take by rook is very interesting way. And moving the silver and moving the rook to the right. This is nice way because the Gote need to defend this position like this. And moving the bishop to protect this position. And pushing pawn to prepare the bishop to attack to this direction. And dropping the pawn. So in this position, Gote move back the silver. But what happened when he forward the silver? Take and take by gold. And in this position, there is a nice desuji, this pawn. If take by bishop, this bishop can take this gold because the rook is also here. So against this pawn, need to take by silver. But in this position, dropping the silver is very nice way because the king is here. And this position, dropping this position, the gold next is very strong attack. So the Gote already has a difficulty for the defense. So this situation is not good for Gote. So Gote cannot take this pawn, and he need to back the silver and move back the bishop because Gote wants to move the bishop here. So before moving the bishop is very nice way. And pushing pawn and move back the rook to the better position. And moving the king and moving the king. Moving the gold. Moving the king. And creating the Mino castle. Sente's formation is very natural formation, and it's very similar to the recent Shogi. But the Gote's formation is very rare situation. It looks like a handicap game. So their silver and gold are separated, so it looks very difficult for Gote. And against this pawn, not taking. If take, the silver can move forward. So moving the bishop is a nice way. And moving the king to this position. This pushing pawn was very interesting way. If take this pawn, then take this pawn. If take, Sente can drop the pawn here. Take and moving the bishop to attack to this position. So Gote cannot take this pawn. and moving the silver. Then take, and dropping the pawn. This pawn is very strong for the future attack. For example, dropping the knight here or lance here. So that this is very good for the center. And jumping knight, moving the silver, pushing pawn, and moving the rook. Take this pawn, and take this pawn. Take, and moving the rook here. This looks very nice attack to the silver, and also attack to the bishop, so that this silver cannot take this gold. So how to defend and how to play against this position. And Masuda chose the jumping knight. This was very nice attack, because the Gote's formation is very weak against the rook, so the Gote cannot sacrifice his rook. So the if he can sacrifice his rook, he can take this silver. But in this situation, Gote has to escape his rook. And finally, Sente succeeded defense. And take this silver and take. So this situation is very good advantage for the Sente, because the Sente's castle is very strong, and Sente can use the knight and bishop and rook also. But the Gote's bishop and rook has a difficulty to use. But from here, Kimura push this pawn. So this kind of the move is very nice technique to make the situation messy. And Masuda take this pawn, and dropping the pawn here, jumping the knight, and dropping the pawn. This pawn looks very interesting. If take by bishop, rook can take. But in this situation, bishop can take. Because if rook take this pawn, bishop can just back here. Because bishop is attacking to the bishop also, rook and bishop, so that this rook cannot move. So against this bishop, Gote chose another way, dropping the silver here, moving the rook, and pushing pawn. So the position looks very messy. There are many positions that can be attacked. And Sente decided to drop the gold, dropping the pawn. This is nice way. If the rook just escape, gold can take this silver, and it's easy for Sente. But this is a nice way. Take rook and take bishop. So this is just an exchange. But the Gote's formation is very weak against the rook. Moving the rook here, and promoting pawn. This rook is the preparation for the future sacrifice, like this. And in this position, dropping the rook looks very nice attack. But from the Masuda set, this rook was bad move, because dropping the bishop was very nice defense in this situation. And next, this rook can be captured, so the Sente needs to help this rook and promote the pawn, take by silver, and promote this pawn and escape the silver. This promoted pawn is very important piece, but the Sente Masuda needs to sacrifice this pawn to save his rook, and take by bishop and promote the rook and move back the bishop. This bishop combination is very nice defense. And dropping the pawn, take, and dropping the pawn, move back the bishop, and move back the promoted rook and take this pawn, move the gold and take knight and move the rook to attack to the silver and move back the silver. So the Gote's formation looks very weak, but this double bishop works well for the defense, so they cannot create the promoted pawn. And take this silver, take, and dropping the silver to break the Gote's castle. Take, and rebuild his castle. And if you just escape the promoted rook, it's not an attack, so the Sente need to continue by the sacrifice of the rook. Take, and dropping the silver. If the king escape to the right side, this is very narrow space, so Sente would have a chance to win, but the king escaped to the left, so there is the open world in the left side. And moving the rook, dropping the pawn, moving the rook, dropping the pawn, and dropping the pawn. These are very nice pawn techniques to protect his area. And if escape the rook, there is no chance, so the Masuda try to continue attack by doing the something, dropping the gold. But in this position, dropping the pawn here was very nice tesuji. If take by lance, king cannot escape from here, so the Gote can focus on the attack from the left side. So for example, dropping the knight here, this is the weak point. This kind of attack is very strong, so the Sente cannot take this pawn and take silver and dropping the rook here. This rook was very strong attack because the Gote has a big risk against the rook, but the player was Kimura, so I think the Masuda afraid of taking this rook and he escaped the king. But in fact, by the Shogi engine, this rook need to be taken by the lance in the situation. And against this king, Gote take rook and dropping the silver for the defense, dropping the knight, escape the king, and promoted pawn, and jumping knight to create the escape route. Take by knight, take by gold, and promote the knight. This was very nice sacrifice. And moving the silver, escape the king, and promote pawn, escape the king, and take rook, and take gold, and resigned in this situation. They are already checkmated the Sente's castle, Sente's king. Thank you for watching this video. In this video, I shared the legacy players and legacy shogi about 100 years ago. But I don't know that it's useful for the recent shogi, but it's interesting to know what happened in 100 years ago. Okay, see you next ramen. Bye bye.